Om Shri Sai Ram. Can I request everyone to settle down?
गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नो दिव्यः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्।
Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome everyone. Thank you for being patient while we were working out some of the logistics, the sound system and stuff like that. Appreciate everyone being patient. Hopefully everyone found a parking spot to park their cars and everyone had some light refreshments and you're settling in for a good 3-hour satsang. I want to start outright by welcoming the Tukarams, Purandaradas, Tyagarajas, Kanakadas, all these wonderful artists and singers that Swami has handpicked and sent all the way here from Prashanti Nilayam. They are here to help us connect to our Swami. So let me start off by introducing each of the artists. I would first welcome Sri Ravi Kumar, the group lead, hailing from Madikeri, Karnataka. Ravi joined the Sri Satyasai Vidyavikas Ooty in 1978 at the age of 7. On his very first day of school, Bhagwan chose him to sing in his divine presence, and he continued to perform regularly ever since. Over the years, Ravi was personally trained by Bhagwan and has been fortunate to have accompanied Bhagwan to various places. Ravi has a bachelor's in commerce and an MBA from the Sri Satyasai Institute of Higher Learning. He was awarded the all-rounder gold medal for his proficiency in an array of fields, including academia, sports, cultural and spiritual activities. Upon graduating, Ravi has been working as a senior manager for the Department of Radiology and Urology at Swami Sri Satyasai Super Speciality Hospital in Prashanti Nilayam. Welcome, Ravi. I would like to next call Amey Deshpande. He completed his schooling from the Sri Satyasai Higher Secondary School from grade 5 to 12 and then did his MBA, MPhil and PhD in the management department at Swami's Institute. Originally from Maharashtra, after finishing his schooling, he went and completed his BCom from Bangalore University and then was trained to become a chartered accountant and then came back to Swami's Institute to complete his MBA and then he has been working in the business department since then. He is a proficient vocalist, percussionist, playwright, actor, orator and music and theatre director, having performed in all these capacities in Swami's presence. Welcome, Ami. Next, I would like to call Anand Parshuram. He completed his diploma and postgraduate diploma from the Sri Sathya Sai Virpuri College of Music, and he's currently working as a staff at Radio Sai. So he was joking yesterday, he's a person who's responsible for what you see and what you don't see on Radio Sai. So he has a really demanding job. Originally from Nagpur, Maharashtra, Sri Anand comes from a family that has been active in the Sai organization for many years. After spending his early years at home, he joined Swami's institution at 2005. Upon completion of his foundation diploma and post-diploma courses, he joined Radio Sai as a technical assistant and now manages all the audio work. He's a star performer of the Prashanti Bhajan group. Welcome. And next, I'd like to welcome B. Shivakumar. He completed his BSc, MSc, and then did his PhD in chemistry from Swami's Institute, and is currently serving in the Department of Chemistry in Swami's Institute as a faculty member. Hailing from the picturesque town of Ooty, Tamil Nadu, he joined Swami's Institute in 1991, and he's been serving there since then. He has a long list of accomplishments to his credit, including publications in journals and authorship. And he has also accompanied the late Mandolin U. Srinivas, Begum Parveen Sultana, and Grammy Award winner Dana Gillespie during their performance in Prashanti Nilayam. He was also a member of the Institute's brass band, where he played the clarinet. He has had the lucky privilege of traveling with Swami to Kodaikanal, Mumbai, and Hachi. I also want to acknowledge his dad here, who has traveled with him and has been with us for the last, in the US for the last several weeks, and he's been here since yesterday. Next, I would like to welcome Saida, who also completed his foundation diploma and postgraduate diploma in the Virpuri College of Music. Hailing from Kerala, he joined Swami's College and completed his foundation diploma and post-diploma courses in music. He then joined Swami's Music College as a Mridangam teacher. And he's also been privileged to travel with Swami to Hachi, Mumbai, Delhi, and Shimla. Welcome, Saida. Next is Sai Krishna Narasimha Rao. Hailing from Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, Sai Krishna joined the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Secondary School in '96 in grade 11. Upon graduation, he continued on to Swami's Institute, where he did his BCom with an honors, followed by his MBA. Sai Krishna then left Puttaparthi to work in the financial services sector, focusing on banking and investment advisory services before returning to Puttaparthi in 2012 to teach financial accounting to senior students in Swami's Higher Secondary School. He specializes in percussion instruments such as tabla, dholak, and naal. Welcome, Sai. Next, I'd like to welcome Srinivasan. Hailing from Parur, Kerala, Srinivasan joined Swami's College of Music in its inaugural year in the year 2001, where he completed his foundation and diploma courses. Following this, he attended the University of Madras to complete his bachelor's and master's degree in music. In 2007, he joined the Sathya Sai Virpuri College of Music as a faculty member, specializing in Carnatic music. Srinivasan has traveled with Bhagwan on several occasions as part of the music group and continues to travel extensively for vocal performances. Welcome, Srinivasan. Next, I have Satya. Honor of welcoming Satya. Hailing from Erode, Tamil Nadu, Satya grew up in a family that was dedicated to following Bhagwan and his mission since the 1940s. Not surprisingly, Satya joined Swami's Higher Secondary School in 1988 in grade 4 and never left. After high school, he got his bachelor's and master's degree in science before joining higher secondary school as a teacher in 2004, where he teaches a number of subjects. Satya is a gifted harmonium and keyboard player. He joined the Prasanthi Bhajan group at the tender age of 13 and has been performing ever since. And he also has had the privilege of performing with musicians like Dana Gillespie and Begum Patel Sultan. Last but not the least, I want to welcome Siddharth Raju. Hailing from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Siddharth is an excellent stage actor, playwright, vocal performer, and speaker. After being part of the acclaimed Sundaram Bhajan group in Chennai for several years, he became part of the Prasanthi Bhajan group when he joined Swami's Institute to do his MBA. Following his graduation, he began pursuing his MA in English on Swami's command, who also asked him to start teaching at Swami's Higher Secondary School after his completion of his MA. In 2016, he was conferred the Sai Krishna Award for Best Teacher in the Prasanthi Nilayam campus. Currently, Siddhartha is pursuing his doctoral research in English. He has had the privilege also of traveling with Bhagwan to Korea. So welcome, Siddhartha. I also want to acknowledge Ravi's dad, who is here. I apologize for not acknowledging him right after I welcome Ravi. But he's here. I want to say a quick word about both the dads who we are fortunate they could travel with their sons to be with us here. Yesterday we made a short trip to DC to take them around. And you'll be surprised at the energy that they had compared to the rest of us. So we were extremely grateful that they put up with the long schedule that we had yesterday, and they're here supporting us again. So I really want to welcome them and thank them for being here with their children. With that said, I really want to welcome everyone to this divine gathering. The reason I say it's a divine gathering is because it truly is a divine gathering. A few years ago, when Swami was talking to alumni at one of the alumni meet, he remarked, he said, all of you must come together, spend time with each other, and spread Ananda. So this is the coming together. Initially, I remember when we started planning for this event, we were not sure if we might get 200 or 300 people between the centers in this area. But then once we opened the registration, as the registration started coming in, the numbers kept increasing and we were kind of getting a little worried. And so all that means is Swami has handpicked the select group of people who are here to be here on this day, to be a part of this program. So it's truly a coming together. And while we are here, what is it that we can do? We can spend time with each other and spread the Ananda. That's what they're going to do. Hopefully we enjoy the Ananda and take it back with us. So it's truly a divine gathering, and we're glad everyone could join us. At this point, I would also like to thank a few people. I would prefer doing it right now rather than doing it at the end of the program. I want to acknowledge the support and help we have received from the region, both from Doug Guam and Gauri Kannan, who are here. They've been extremely helpful in helping us, during all sorts of the planning for this event. Also the YAs. You see all the instruments. Some of the instruments came from Prasanthi Nilayam, but there are some instruments that are here that are borrowed from devotees in this region. And initially, I remember when Kumar was looking for instruments, we were wondering where we would get this many instruments. And I told Kumar, "Have you asked the YAs?" And that was it. It was not because we knew they had the instruments; it just knew that they were resourceful enough to get the instruments. So a big round of applause to the YAs of the region. And last but not the least, I do want to thank each and every member of the centers in this area who have come together in so many ways and without a second thought pitched in and helped us make this possible. So big round of applause to everyone. With that said, I would like Regional President Doug Wong to just say a quick couple words.
Sai Ram. Sai Ram. Better. Better put my glasses. Swami tells us, realize that there is nothing greater than bhajan. What bliss there is in bhajans. The vibrations emanating from them make the heart vibrant. The vibrations enter into the atmosphere and even purify the air. We are in for a real treat. But there's a couple things. Number one, cell phones. Okay, I've heard a few. You know what Swami says about cell phones? He says, take your cell phone and throw it in the nearest well. Okay? Please do not do that. Okay? It'll pollute the well. Okay? So instead, if you could just put them on vibrate or turn them off, that would be appreciated. Thank you. So we have been blessed so much by Swami, both in the fact that he brought us to him and in those he brings to us, like this Prashanti Bhajan group. Thank you so much. You are Swami, and we are very, very grateful. The group, as has been said, these are all Swami's students, and they all work in Puttaparthi at the university and in other side organizations. They're devoting their life to Swami's message. Today, they're not only sharing their musical talents with us, but also we're going to hear stories, beautiful and inspired stories. And remember that everything that happens is a lesson. It's something to learn from. So listen carefully. There are lessons for us in everything that is said. And we ask Swami, we pray to Swami, please anchor within us the lessons that we are to learn. And ensure that we use what we learn in the perfect way and in the perfect time for the perfect reasons. We are incredibly lucky. So let's all welcome the Prashanti Bhajan group.
at the lotus feet of our ever-present Swami, most beloved Bhagwan, most revered elders, dear brothers and sisters, a very warm and loving Sairam to all of you. Yesterday, some of our brothers took us around the capital, and we kind of figured out that this was the capital, and in the capital there was the Capitol Hill. So as we stood there, it kind of struck me that here we are in the capital of not only the United States, probably in some ways the capital of the world, because the power centers of the world kind of stay here. And then just we looked back and we felt that Swami had once said that Prashanti Nilayam is the spiritual capital of the world, in fact of the universe. So from the residents of one capital to the residents of another capital, Sairam once again. Our trip in the US has been so overwhelming in many ways. And one of the things that, I speak on behalf of all my brothers here, is the energy and the passion and the devotion that we have experienced here. It's simply incredible, amazing, and awe-inspiring. And we take a lot of that love that you all have for Bhagwan. It has strengthened and it has inspired each one of us. And I would also like to put on record that some of the brothers that you all have here in Washington with you are people whom we looked up to when we were little boys. S. Kumar sir, he is a rock star for us. Sanjay, brother Sanjay, these are all, even to sit in the same car along with them, we were kind of like, as little children, I was just, myself and Satya, both of us are classmates, and when we were in primary school, we would actually look into the bhajan hall more at S. Kumar sir singing than Swami. I'm sorry to say that. The Swami we will see every day. He comes for darshan also. It was that kind of, so just to kind of, rub shoulders with them again and just to meet all the brothers over here is so amazing. And we thank Swami for this wonderful opportunity. In fact, all across the United States, we have met brothers ranging from the 70s right up to the 2000s, and it's just been an amazing feeling. Almost like, and sisters too. Yes, brother puts it right. Yes, a lot of sisters too. But of course, we've not had that opportunity to interact with them as much as we have had with the brothers. So that is why I'm sorry. And in many ways, I think that is what Prema Bandham is all about. And when we asked what is the theme that we should present on, the brothers gave us this beautiful concept of Premasmaranam. Yeah, I forgot the last word. Premasmaranam. So we all do a lot of Namasmaran, right? What is Premasmaran? And even as I was thinking about it, the immortal lines of the immortal Qawwali came back to my mind, which is Mohabbat ki kami dil mein agar ehsaas hota hai. Just to give you a tidbit, I'm not sure whether you all know this, but the original line from which it was taken, the original couplet from which these two lines were taken, it went, Mohabbat ka kabhi agar ehsaas hota hai, zara jhanko to paoge, the rest of it. Somewhere in the translation, when it kind of came to the book, to the actual singing, it became Mohabbat ki kami agar ehsaas hota hai. And even as we were contemplating on it, it threw up such a powerful message, that there's so much of difference between Mohabbat ka kabhi, that is, if ever you want to experience love, look inside your heart, is what the original line says. But the renovated line or the new line, it says Mohabbat ki kami agar ehsaas hota, that is, if ever you find the lack of love, because love is always there. But if ever we experience the lack of love in our hearts, then the line goes on to say, just peep into the inner recesses of your heart and Sai paas paoge. You will find Sai over there. Especially after 2011, April 24th, these two lines make such a whole lot of significance now. That if we ever think that Swami is not with us, Just let us peep into our hearts, and there he is seated very much. In fact, he is today just a thought away. He is just a beat away, isn't it? That is how close he is. We don't have to travel thousands of miles to go to Prashanthi Nilayam. Wherever there is Prashanthi Nilayam, there is Sai. And if we are able to make our hearts into Prashanthi Nilayam, then that is where Sai automatically resides. So these are the thoughts that, when I thought about Premasmaranam, this is the thought that I got. And so we thought that can we kind of choose a few songs and a few stories and a few incidences that actually talk about these various facets of love.
Because when we talk about love, we can go on and on about the different kinds of love that we receive in life. When you look at love itself, there are so many different aspects to love. And we believe that living with God is true education. So when we turned back the pages, when we all sat together and we turned back the pages, recollecting some of those incidences which we thought we could share on this occasion of Premasmaranam, we realized that there are so many aspects of Swami's love. So to begin with, one of the most beautiful things about love is how love simplifies life. And when you look at Swami as a teacher, like I said, living with God is true education, because every moment we spent with Swami, he was always teaching us lessons. The question is whether we were ready to receive them or not. Some of those lessons, where we look back 5 years, 7 years down the line, then it strikes us what Swami meant then. But he was teaching that lesson at that point of time nevertheless, whether you were receiving it at that point of time or not. So, like I said, love simplifies life. And Swami, being the Guru that he was, the Satguru, the Jagat Guru, Swami taught us the highest truths in the simplest of ways. And that was so special because he would simplify the highest truths for you to understand. Just listen to this. This is all you need to remember. You don't need to remember verses of, from the epics. You just have to remember these lessons that I'm teaching you in everyday life. One incident that I recall is, I see a lot of young brothers here. I'm guessing that when the weather gets much warmer, you all have ice cream? Häagen-Dazs? No?
I think they want it even now. Why wait for the weather to get hot?
Okay. So this was one occasion when Swami was distributing ice cream as prasadam in the mandir. And
as primary school students, I think we have received everything, every size, shape, and liquid, solid, semi-liquid, as prasadam. Who would think that one day we would walk out of mandir with watermelons as prasadam? We have walked out of the mandir with almost any size of prasadam that you can think of.
So this is one occasion when ice cream was being distributed and Swami was overseeing the distribution. Like I said, you just have to be alert because you never know at which moment Swami will drop that lesson. And Swami said, boys, God is like ice cream. And then everybody stopped to listen to Swami, and Swami said, God is pure like white ice cream. God is soft and melts like ice cream. And God is sweet like ice cream. That is why God is like joy ice cream. Right? So it was such a simple lesson, but if you just introspect into the word, Swami is saying that he is pure like vanilla ice cream. Swami says, I will melt. Just give me your devotion and I will melt and I'll give you whatever you seek. Just like you leave ice cream to thaw. Swami says, I am sweet like ice cream. So this is one of the things that I recollect when we thought about how, in the most innocuous way, Swami would teach us such truths about himself and about life.
In fact, if you don't know any other definition of God, I think this one definition of God is enough. That God is like ice cream. So if any of the SSC students know, if ever somebody asks you what is God, just say he is ice cream. I remember yet another occasion when one of our professors, Swami had called him inside Bhajan hall, and he was standing next to Swami. Swami was talking to him. Swami was sitting on the throne, he was standing. And often we would hold Swami's hand, okay, as he spoke to us, or Swami's feet. And so he was holding Swami's hand, and it so happened that on the hand that Swami was holding also had a ring which Swami had materialized for him. So it so happened that Swami, after some time, we were all watching, and Swami was playing with the ring, in his hand, and Swami was looking front, but his hands were like, kind of just rubbing the fingers. And after that, there was a little silence. Nobody was talking. Swami was just looking, into infinity, that as often as he would do. And so this sir, his hand was stuck with Swami, in his hands. So he was kind of feeling a little uncomfortable, like, what am I supposed to do now? I don't want to pull out my hand, right? So he kind of just was standing, and so he wanted to break the ice, break the silence. So he just told Swami, "Ide mere charu," meaning, because Swami was playing with the ring, he said, "Swami, this ring you only have given." And at that moment, Swami just turned, looked at him, and then said, "And what about this?" Pointing at his entire body. And it was such an amazing moment, because it was, like, how do I break ice? Swami, this ring you only give. And Swami was like, "Hello boss, what about this entire body? This body is also my gift." Right? That is how he simplifies things. And this next song that we are going to sing adores Swami as the Jagat Guru, the Sadguru. This was a song that we all had presented in front of Bhagwan on his 85th birthday. It is called Guru Brahmani Ve, Sadguru. And the 85th birthday in many ways was so historic, because after many, many years, Swami gave a chance to all of the students to perform on the Jhula occasion. Till then, from after almost, I think after 60th birthday, it was only at the 85th birthday that we had got an opportunity. Little did we know that, that would be the last major birthday. And even as the song went on, there were about 6 songs. And during each of the songs was an audio-visual kind of a song. And the entire life of Bhagwan was playing in front of the entire audience as well as Swami. And Swami just, it is a magical moment just to see Swami seeing his entire life in front of him. And there was a sense of satisfaction on his countenance on that day. So this is the song Guru Brahmani Ve. It's a karaoke track.
బహువిధములైన లౌకిక పథములో మనకు చూపెదరయ్యా తల్లి తండ్రి ఆత్మవిద్యను గరుప గురువుకే సాధ్యము మనకు దొరికినయ్యా విశ్వగురువు విశ్వగురు గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే అజ్ఞాన తిమిరములను హరించే ప్రజ్ఞాస్వరూప నీవే అజ్ఞాన తిమిరములను హరించే ప్రజ్ఞాస్వరూప నీవే గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పదని పదప మగరి గద ఉపమాగగ సరి గ పమాగరి గ పద సరి గ పద గారి నీడ పామగారి గ పద అవతరించితివి అత్తివాసుడై అవిద్యని తొలగించగా ఆత్మజ్యోతిని వెలుగక చేసి ఆనందము కలిగించగా ఆత్మజ్యోతిని వెలుగక చేసి ఆనందము కలిగించగా మానస భజరే గురు చరణం దుస్తర భవ సాగర తరణం మానస భజరే గురు చరణం దుస్తర భవ సాగర తరణం లౌకిక విద్యను ఆధ్యాత్మికమును ఏకము చేసితివి. లౌకిక విద్యను ఆధ్యాత్మికమును ఏకము చేసితివి. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. దేవాసుల అపార కృపతో ఆదరమున చూచెదవు. చింతన చేసి ఉపదేశించి చేరువ చేసెదవు. శీల సంపద ప్రాముఖ్యమును బాలబాలికలకెరిగించి. శీల సంపద ప్రాముఖ్యమును బాలబాలికలకెరిగించి. సకల జగతికి ఆదర్శముగా సంచరించుమని తెలిపెదము. సకల జగతికి ఆదర్శముగా సంచరించుమని తెలిపెదము. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. స్వార్థరహితమగు సమాజ సేవ సమన్నతమని పలికినవు. వేద ధర్మములు ప్రబోధించుటే విద్యార్థుల కర్తవ్యమందు. భారతీయ సంస్కృతి వైభవము ప్రకటింపమందు. ప్రకటింపమందు. సత్యసాయి ప్రేమామృతము నిత్యము పంచుచుందుము. సత్యసాయి ప్రేమామృతము నిత్యము పంచుచుందుము. నిగమార్థమును సుగమము చేసి జగద్గురువు నీవు. విద్యార్థులకే కాదు ఈ విశ్వమునకే ఆచార్యుడవు. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే. గురు బ్రహ్మ నీవే పరం జ్యోతి నీవే.
This song, towards the end, it says that, our worldly, in the beginning, I'm sorry, our worldly parents can give us only secular education, but Atma Vidya, which is the highest of learnings, can be taught only by the Vishwa Guru himself. And how lucky are we to have the Vishwa Guru come down in human form to teach us. When we talk about teaching as a teacher, a child's first teacher is the mother, isn't it? And when we talk about love in the form of mother, comforting the child at every point of time is one of the first things that the mother always looks to do. And I recall this incident, one of our elder brothers He says he had joined the hostel, and the beginning of the year there was a summer course, even before the academic year commenced. There was a summer course which was held in Vrindavan, and he had joined for that. And it seems on his first day, when he stood in line for breakfast to collect his breakfast, he noticed that they were being served 4 idlis. So I believe he remarked to his friend who was
That's what happens in the hostel. Everything is limited quantity because there are 500 boys, no? So everything has to be limited. So they will say, so in fact in the morning when they ask, when we get up, everybody shouts in the hostel, say, well, what's the breakfast? So we just say 2 means 2 parathas, 4 means 4 idlis, like that.
So he remarked to his friend who was in front of him in the queue, and he says, hey, what is this here? They're just giving us 4 idlis. If I was at home, my mother would not be counting the number of idlis that she would be putting on my plate. This is ridiculous. Nevertheless, he took his breakfast, he went ahead, and he attended the session. And I believe in the evening, as they were all waiting for Swami's darshan, Swami comes by and Swami stands in front of all the students. And the first question Swami asks, what was for breakfast today? This is a question that he would very regularly ask. What was for breakfast today? And the boys replied in chorus saying, Swami, idli Swami. See, Swami looked at the warden and said, pointed out to this brother who had registered that complaint in the morning, this boy, give him as many idlis as he wants. Now, obviously at that moment you know that he is listening to every thought, complaint, prayer of yours. It's the first gift that he gives us, the faith that he is there to listen to whatever we speak in our hearts. And I'm reminded of another incident, talking about food. One of the school students who had joined the hostel, it was his birthday on that particular day, and it seems he suddenly realized, and if only I was at home today, since he was in the hostel, he said, if I was at home today, my mother would have made my favorite sweet, Badusha, because being my birthday, she always makes it. Sadly, this is my first year away from home. How I wish, my mother had made this sweet for me, how I would have relished it on my birthday. He goes to Mandir for darshan, and that day, prasadam distributed is Badusha. And even as he is trying to reel, he's reeling in that shock that, whoa, I said it and here it is, there's Badusha. What are the chances of getting Badusha, the sweet that you like, in Mandir on that day? See, Swami brought a Badusha and gave it to him, and just gave him that all-knowing smile. And these are those moments which he shows us when Swami says, you don't understand the love of one mother, where are you going to understand the love of 1,000 mothers? Which is what I am. So the next song, we pray to the Divine Mother to always be there with us every single moment.
Talking about 1,000 mothers' love. In fact, when we were little kids studying in Ooty, we have had so many opportunities where Swami was a loving mother to all of us little tiny tots. But this one little incident comes to mind, not when we were tiny tots, but when we had grown up, and then Swami had taken this group of boys to Kodaikanal. And from Kodaikanal, Swami had taken the boys to Ooty. And then from Ooty, he would come back to Bangalore, and so that was the travel routine. So what happened in Ooty was, this loving and comforting mother had this little play. He got a tetra pack of juices. We get all this fruity and all these things in India. So it's a mango juice in a tetra pack. So that was distributed to the boys, and all the students were given strict instructions by those elders, the teachers who were in charge of the group, no breaking of these tetra packs. What the boys like, what children like to do is, after drinking, put the empty tetra pack on the floor and then step on it. And with a loud pop, it would go off. It would make a loud blast, and kids would have a blast doing that. So that is something children like to do. So the teachers had given strict instruction to the boys that don't do this. Swami is going to be around, you're going to disturb the peace, etc. So all the boys were sitting, they had their tetra packs and they had it next to them. And then suddenly there was a loud pop from somewhere in the hall. And Swami was sitting there, and all the teachers were glaring. They were looking around to see who is this boy, who had dared to disobey this command of not breaking. So they looked around, and as they were still trying to find out who it was and give him whatever punishment was due to him, when they were looking, all of a sudden from another direction in the hall there's another loud blast, another tetra pack, blast, pop, it goes up. And then all the teachers looked around to see where that is coming from. And you know what they say? It was Swami who had done that. So it was such a lovely moment that, you know, the mother was sitting with all her children, and it was a mother and child moment there actually in the hall.
In that one act, he just diffused the entire the tension that was building up, you know.
So nobody got blasted, and nobody got scolded, and you know, it was a lot of joy around. So this is that mother, you know, whom I don't know how many lives we would take to understand this mother. So let us offer this song to our divine mother.
शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुम् न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अथस्त्वा आराध्या हरिहरविरिञ्चाधिविरपि प्रणुतुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः प्रभवति शक्तिपीठमुनि सर्वमोक्षमुनि शक्तिपीठमुनि सर्वमोक्षमुनि जगत्कारिणी जगत्कारिणी परिपूरणी जननी जननी जननी
Moving on to the next aspect of love. Love expressed by the devotee to the Lord is devotion, isn't it? And one of the most famous devotees of Lord Krishna is Mirabai. One of our brothers whom Swami used to often call to sing Meera Bhajans in particular. He was a student of the music college, and Swami would very often pick these two students and ask them to sing the most famous compositions of Mirabai. And this particular song, Darshani Dijo Aaj, was a song that Swami would make him sing ever so often. So he was narrating to us how he would have sung it at least 30-40 times at Swami's behest. And on this one particular occasion, and Swami would enjoy it every time, and Swami would keep asking for him to sing that over and again. On this one particular occasion, as he was singing it, everybody noticed that Swami was getting visibly very moved, because Swami would remember Meera, and Swami would often get very moved. And Swami is looking at his brother and saying, "You're not crying. Why are you not crying?" So he says that he very candidly admits that he didn't have that feeling as he was singing. And he says, seeing Swami expecting him to cry, it seems he started to contort his face and pretend like he was crying. Do all that and give the impression that I'm really moved by the song. And Swami watches that, and Swami looks at him and says, "Tears nahi aata hai. Tears are not coming." So he says, then he subsequently surrendered and said, "Swami, no tears, Swami, I'm not able to cry." And then Swami told him, the day you truly feel and true tears come from your eyes, that day you would realize how much devotion Meera had for me. And he says, I would only pray every time subsequently, I would keep praying, saying, "Swami, give me that kind of devotion. I hope once I'm able to render that song such that, I really live up to your expectations of singing Meera Bhajans."
Sorry to interrupt, Siddharth. I often think that this was the Satya Sai avatar. In one sense, was the timing of this avatar was an avataric blunder. And I'll tell you why I think, because we often would see Swami completely breaking down in front of us when we would sing Meera Bhajans and Tyagaraja Bhajans, and this thought, the thick-skinned buffaloes that we are, Swami used to call us Dunnapotas. That's why I'm taking the liberty of kind of using myself to be as a thick skin. I would wonder, Swami, why are you crying now? See, if you really wanted to enjoy, you should have come when Mirabai was around, isn't it? That would be the best time to take an avatar, right? If Tyagaraja was around and if you came to avatar, you would have a walking MP3 player with you. And it would be a win-win situation for both. You also enjoy Tyagaraja singing, Tyagaraja also enjoys, singing to you. So I think there is one timing problem. You kind of made a blunder because now you are coming, and making us sing their compositions, and then you are weeping and you are crying. Probably it was only to show us that they could have lived physically without me. You buffaloes cannot. But I will cry thinking of them, so that something at least you will learn from them. Try to get little bit of the devotion that they had for the Lord. He was talking about Meera.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you in return. So I remember one more occasion where boys had gone with Swami to Kodaikanal, And it is the usual tradition that on one of the days, Swami would give all of us some money and say, go and buy something, buy some souvenirs and come back so that you can take it back to your family when you go home after the vacation. So when boys had gone shopping, invariably boys would like to buy something for Swami as well. Obviously, we would like to give something from our side to Swami. And this particular year, Swami was, like I had mentioned, these Meera boys had gone with Swami, and the theme for the Kodai trip was Meera. Every day they would be doling out all the Meera songs that they knew. So when they went shopping in the bazaar, they noticed that there was a plaster of Paris idol of Meera. So they thought this might be a nice gift to give to Swami, and they bought the same. And in the evening when Swami was, and Swami, he would not just send us shopping, he would call us in the evening and find out what each bought. And he would say, what have you bought? Swami, this is for my father. Swami, this is for my mother. How much did you pay for it? Did you bargain? And Swami would not like us to bargain with the shopkeeper. Swami would say, I gave you the money. Who asked you to bargain? So they were showing their gifts, and finally they said, Swami, and they showed this. Swami said, what is this? Swami, this is Meerabai. Okay, so Swami, we bought this for you. And then Swami said, Idi Bommara, this is just a doll. Meera natone undi. Meera is in me. We were talking about how externally we would like to try to impress Swami, but Swami was all about the heart. And just as Brother Amay was mentioning, that is what stood out when he showed us the lives of those saints. And Swami didn't have to come down in their own time for them to merge with Swami. Swami indicated by that, saying that Meera is in me. So this is something that when we talk about love, devotion is nothing but love for the Lord becomes devotion.
Coming to the other great, and the next song, Ek Radha Ek Meera, that's the next song. The other devotee in this particular song is Radha. And I'll just very quickly tell you one very beautiful incident that happened way back in the 1970s. This was something that Professor Lakshmi Narasimhan sir, the former registrar, had told us. He said that Swami had written, so Swami would spend quite a lot of time in Vrindavan, with the students, and for a few months he would go back to Parthi and then return back. Because at that time there was nothing much happening in Parthi as such, in the 70s. So on one occasion, Swami had returned back to Puttaparthi, and he had written a letter to the boys in the hostel, which he wanted to be read out. And the whole letter that Swami had written was about developing love like how the Gopikas had for Lord Krishna. Swami had written to the students that students should develop that kind of love that Gopikas had for Krishna. And he had made one sentence that the Gopikas and Radha found separation in unity and unity in separation. Now this was a sentence which was kind of, it didn't make much sense to Lakshmi Narasimhan sir at that moment. And so he had kept the letter, he read it out, and a few months later when Swami came back to Vrindavan, Swami asked him, did you read the letter? So he said, yes Swami. He said, did you understand it? He said, Swami, I didn't understand, what do you mean by this one sentence? Unity in separation and separation in unity. And Swami went on to tell him this beautiful story. He said, after Krishna left Gokula, that is Vrindavan, and went back to Mathura, Radha, they say that, in Bhagavata Purana, the mention of even Radha is not there in the original Bhagavata Purana. The reason being that Shukamuni, who was telling this story to Parikshit, the moment he would say Radha, he would be transported into trance. And he could not afford that because only 7 days were there for Parikshit. So he wouldn't say Radha. So therefore Radha's mention is also not there in Bhagavata Purana. Swami said this great soul that Radha was, she just cut away from everybody. She went away from the entire, the Gokula, and on the banks of Yamuna, she made her own house. And in every leaf, she would see Krishna. In every wave of Yamuna, she would see Krishna. In every butterfly there, she would see Krishna. And so she was lost in her own Krishna. And in that sense, there was unity in separation. In separating from Krishna, she found unity in Krishna. Many, many years back, later, Swami says that Krishna came back once to Vrindavan and he met all the Gopikas, and at the end of the entire picnic, he asked, where is Radha? And they said, Radha doesn't stay with us anymore. Stays away from us. So Krishna goes alone and he knocks on the door of Radha's hermitage. And Radha is lost in her Krishna. And the moment there is a knock on the door, it cuts her connection with, the heart Krishna. She opens, so she's kind of disturbed. Who is this disturbing me? She opens the door only to find Lord Krishna himself standing in front of her. Swami said that is separation in unity. That is, she was separated from her Krishna and she was united with the Krishna who was standing. That is how I want my voice to be. When I am not here, be lost in my thoughts. When I come over here, enjoy with me. That is how beautiful the relationship between Radha and Krishna is. So this next song beautifully conveys this through this song.
of one of the convocation dramas. And the convocation drama would be one of those marquee dramas where Swami would be involved in every step of the production. Swami would pick the cast, Swami would select the singers, the actors, what role each actor should play, and so on. So there were this particular occasion, there were three major characters who were going to be portrayed in the drama: Swami Vivekananda, Tulsidas, and Surdas. Now each of those characters were supposed to have a song during the scene, and Swami had finalized the songs for Tulsidas as well as Surdas. Swami was not happy with the kind of songs that were being suggested by the music teacher in charge for Swami Vivekananda. So every time Swami would come up with a song and Swami would say, no, not this. This is not suiting that particular occasion. So the teacher would keep going back and forth, and the day of the drama is approaching, and there's so much more things to be tied up, and so he's starting to panic. So on one particular occasion in the interview room, as he was trying to put forth his idea, Swami, I believe, just said, "Dundo, search. You're not searching properly. Search for the song." Very harshly told him, "You're not searching. You're not doing enough." So the sir went back and he stayed up the whole night trying to source songs which would be befitting Swami Vivekananda, and he finalized a couple of good options which he thought would really suit the song, the scene. And he goes the next morning and Swami calls him and he shows the song. Swami, this is the. Swami says, "No, this won't do." And he just gave up at that moment. He said, "Swami, I don't know what else I should do." And then just then, the flute player had started to play. In those days, there would be a short instrumental piece just before the bhajans. He had started to play, and Swami immediately pointed out and said, "See, it should sound like that." And sir then immediately paid attention, and that flute player was playing the rag Shivaranjani. And he realized, okay, so Swami wants something in this particular rag. So he came away, and then he says he sat the whole night, and just suddenly there was that moment when Swami decides to bless you. It will come down in torrents, and he had the idea, he had the tune, he had the lyrics, and therein emerged one of the most iconic songs in the students' history, Chalane Man Apne Dham. And that song, Swami loved it so much when he went back and told Swami, and Swami said yes. He understood that Swami wanted him to search inside. Because he was looking externally to source the songs, and Swami was indicating to him, saying, you're looking, but you're looking outside. I want you to look within. And that song went on to be repeated on many occasions, and Swami would always have a soft corner for that particular song.
Talking about dramas and how Swami would be so involved in the dramas, I remember the 60th birthday of Swami. There were two dramas at that time. One was Radha Krishna, where S. Kumar sir was playing the role of Radha, and we were all little gopikas around him. So that was a drama, Radha Krishna, and there was also a very nice English drama called Here and There. So apart from these two dramas, there was a music program, as Amay was mentioning initially. 85th birthday, we got a chance to sing in front of Swami on his birthday on 23rd November, and the previous occasion was on Swami's 60th birthday. So there was this song. Swami had asked the elder brothers to compose songs for the 60th birthday music program. So they had composed and they had kind of exhausted their abilities, so to say. And then Swami was saying, "I want some more. Give me a new song. Give me a new song." Swami was asking for it every day. And they would go and they would show Swami something, and then Swami said, "No, this I already know. And this is old." So they were trying to look for something new. So they approached a very elderly devotee of Swami, Ratanla Lamma Garu. So they approached her and said, "See, we are at our wit's end. We want something new. Swami is asking for something new. And whatever we are singing, in front of Swami, Swami is saying it's old." So she gave a very old book, filled with songs, the wordings for songs. So she gave it to the boys and said, "It's a very old book, so you can take something from here." So the boys pulled out words from that, and they made a tune. And the next day in the interview room, when Swami called these brothers, they sang this in front of Swami, showed it to Swami, and Swami was closing his eyes and listening to the whole song very nicely. So I think the boys thought, yes, they had finally done it. Then Swami opened his eyes and said, "Kya rahe? నన్ను చీట్ చేస్తున్నారా? Swami said, what, are you guys trying to cheat me? Then they were like, what happened? Why we are not cheating, Swami? What happened? Then Swami said, this song that you are singing, I had given it to Brahmachari. Nenu Brahmachari ki ichchanu. They were wondering who is Brahmachari, because the book said bhajans by Hari Om Sharan. You know, he is a very famous bhajan singer in India. So Hari Om Sharan's maiden name, so to say, before it became Hari Om Sharan, the bhajan singer, was Brahmachari Sharan. And for a fact, he had physically never come to Swami and sung. You know, you had so many wonderful singers who would come and had the opportunity to sing in front of Swami, but not Hari Om Sharan. And here is Swami telling these people, I had given it to Brahmachari Sharan when? It was like 30 years before. So, this is the all-knowing Swami, and he had not directly given it. But this is how Swami is. You know, he said he was an internal prompter who had given this song to Hari Om Sharan. And that is how beautifully Swami brought out that, you know, when even that Dhundo thing, what you are saying, Swami said, look within. So it was the same Swami within who had prompted Hari Om Sharan 30-40 years before. And that was the composition. That is going to be the next song, which was sung during Swami's 60th birthday, Bhajore, Sai Naam Bhajore, which has a lot of wonderful insights for all of us. Right, Amit?
Yeah, whenever I think of this particular song, you know, I get this feeling that this is a conversation that Swami is having with us, because the meaning is so loaded. The first stanza is talking to us about, oh man, where are you goofing up? What are you doing wrong? Okay, think about that. How stupid are you? Okay, and the second stanza is, once you have surrendered to the Lord, okay, Swami, yeah, I have goofed up, now what do I do? So now listen to the second stanza. And so the two stanzas are, one is our current problem, and what is the solution out of that is what the second stanza talks about. So that same song that they had sung then, we will try to dedicate it to Swami now.
Sa re ma pa na pa ma ga re sa ni re ga re da ni sa na pa ma ga re sa ma ga re sa Bhajore, Sai Naam Bhajore, Bhajore, Sai Naam Bhajore, oh Abdi Jyot Jalai Man mein जग की माया प्रभु को कभी न जाया, मन को भाई जग की माया प्रभु को कभी न जाया, हर पग में मेरा मन भरमाया, सतमार्ग ना पाया, जीवन पाकर भी मन मूर्ख समझ न पाया, माया के जंजाल जगत में, माया के जंजाल जगत में मेरे मन आया, तृष्णा नहीं मिटी विष्णु सुख भोजन को भजरे परम नाम श्री साईं, भजरे परम नाम श्री साईं। लीले नाम बड़ी कार अंतर जोत जलाए, लीले नाम बड़ी कार अंतर जोत जलाए, पाकर सार प्रेम का आनंद में हो जाए, आंखों में रहे रंग राधा, आंखों में रहे रंग राधा, पीकर नाम का प्याला, सच्चित आनंद रूप निरंतर देह भाव बिसराया, भजरे परम नाम श्री साईं, भजरे परम नाम श्री साईं, नाम की जोत जलाकर पालो शाश्वत मान, साईं साईं नाम है प्रेम सरोवर बहती अमृत धारा, साईं
Once, when a few students happened to have the opportunity to sit around Swami's feet in the interview room, Swami posed a very interesting question. Swami asked, "Do you know what is the rarest thing in the world?" So, since the question was posed, one of the students ventured to answer and said, "Swami, the rarest thing has to be mukti, liberation. How rare it must be to get it." And Swami's response was, "Not at all. Kani kadu." It is not rare at all. Because Swami said, because every living being is destined to get it at some point of time. It will happen over time, but it will definitely happen. It is not rare at all. Swami, true devotion to the Lord was the next answer. Swami said no. So sometimes when Swami asks the question, actually the answer is waiting to come out from Swami. You just have to learn to quieten down and wait for it. So after a few tries, students realized that, okay, this is one of those questions where the answer is not coming from here, it's going to come from him.
Yeah, so just shut up.
So they did. And then Swami said, the rare thing is an avatar coming down on earth. Because imagine in this entire span of how many ever billion years of human existence or the earth's existence, how many times has the avatar come down? Swami said that is really rare. Swami said even rarer is being a contemporary of the avatar. That you you happen to be on earth at that time, like Amay was mentioning about Tyagaraja and Mirabai, they did not happen to be the contemporaries of the avatar. Swami said, still rarer is to know the avatar. Because there are so many people who have been contemporaries of Swami. But how many of those billions of people had the opportunity to know that God was down on earth? And Swami said the rarest of all is to be able to serve Him. Because even those who know Him might not have the opportunity to serve Him. And imagine how blessed we are to have fulfilled all those checkboxes and to be here on earth and serve Swami in our own little way. And isn't that what we all seek? We all pray to Swami saying, Swami, give us an opportunity where we may be able to serve you in whatever little capacity that we may. And that is the purport of the next song which we will be offering.
It is called Dhanya Bhag Seva Ka Avsar Paya. It's such a beautiful song because it's again loaded with meaning. There are several beautiful lines in this song which goes in one place. The song says that the little lamp, the little flame, has this opportunity to become one or recognize my own potential as I do an arati or when I wave myself around the effulgence of 1,000 suns. I was like that seed which was in the, buried in the soil, and by your one touch, I have blossomed and I give fragrance. So for that grace, for that bounty that you have given us, O Lord, our deepest sense of gratitude. So oftentimes, the thought will be that, yeah, so all of you are staying in Prashant Nilayam, and so you have the chance to serve Swami, and what about us? Right? But this is exactly what Swami had addressed. When he had told one of our sirs, so one of our sirs, he had left a big job and he had come to Prashant Nilayam, and he was teaching in the business school. And he had left a good job, but come to the business school, and then he was teaching the same operations management, etc., etc. And after about few years, he was thinking, what is this he's doing? He didn't come to do all this. He said, I've come to Swami Prashant Nilayam, I should sit and meditate and probably levitate after some time. It's been 3 years and I'm still not levitating. What's happening? And he was quite distraught, with this whole whatever was happening. He resigned. He gave his resignation to Swami. And so he has to serve the 3 months notice period, right? So at the end of the academic year, he gave his resignation. Swami was already in Vrindavan, so he had gone to Vrindavan. And on the 30th of May, Swami would often call all the teachers, because the new academic year would start on 1st of June. So he would call all the teachers, to give them a little pep talk before the new academic year starts, blessings, etc. So this sir thought anyway he was serving his notice period, so he slipped into he's still a teacher technically. So he slipped into Vrindavan, and that day Swami targeted him. Okay, Swami told, this man, is giving me his resignation letter. He thinks that the work that he is doing now is different from the work he needs to do to achieve me. If ever, and then he looked at Sir and said, if ever you think that the worldly work is different from Swami's work, even in 1,000 janmas, I will not give you what you want. This Sir was telling us that, the scary thing he felt was, Swami told him that even after 1,000 janmas, I will not give you. Means at least if he would have said, in 1,000 janmas, I will give you what you want, there is some respite. Right? Swami simply negated him, saying that even after 1,000 janmas, I will not give you. Swami said, there is nothing like Swami's work and there is nothing like worldly work. You offer everything that you do to me, and that is service to me. So in that sense, all of us are lucky, isn't it? That we have an opportunity to serve Bhagwan, to serve Swami, and that is the rarest of the rare thing. I'll also tell you another incident that happened in Kodaikanal when we were there in 2005. So Swami used to, he had just undergone the operation, so he would always take somebody's support, to walk. And every day, one new boy got an opportunity to hold Swami's hand. Swami would pick up, today you come, today you come. So we would be waiting with bated breath, wondering whose chance today it is. So one day Swami called one of the brothers and he was holding he was taking Swami with his hand, and Swami is looking at the rest of us and telling, good chance, no? Okay, what was there in our mind, he kind of, just amplified it, saying, good chance. So we all just looked at Swami and we smiled at him. But then suddenly Swami said, Kani iti mukhyam kadu. Swami said, this is not important. Swami said, more than holding my hand, yearning to hold my hand is more important. I think, this is one thumb rule, or this is one amazing rule that he has given us, or one comforting factor that he has given us, that everybody will not get a chance to hold God's hand, but everybody will have a chance to yearn to hold God's hand, isn't it? All of us have a chance to yearn to hold his hand. Because Mirabai also never got a chance to hold his hand. Tyagaraja also never got a chance to hold his hand. But they all yearned. And that yearning is what got them liberation. Similarly, we have the opportunity to yearn to hold Swami's hand. And therefore, this next song of, once again, our gratitude to that loving Swami who has given us this opportunity. It is, this particular song is in Telugu, but it has a Kavali kind of a feeling. Nindu Gani Sharanamani, most of you must have heard it. So it is a Telugu Kavali, almost like an oxymoron.
Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. కాములకు గోపులకు జాగులకు భక్తి మూలమొకటే అన్నారు. ఆదిరైన అంతమైన అంతమైన అంతా నీలో ఉందన్నావు. పండితులకు కాములకు గోపులకు జాగులకు భక్తి మూలమొకటే అన్నావు. సనహతను పండించిన శాంతి ఫలం నీవు. గురుకే సద్గురువైనావు. గురుకే సద్గురువైనావు. గురుకే సద్గురువైనావు. నిన్ను గని శరణమై నన్ను సింధువేళ. నిన్ను గని శరణమై నన్ను సింధువేళ.
Just thinking about Kodaikanal only, on one other occasion, how Swami teaches, even when he is giving gifts. A beautiful incident comes to my mind. So one day he was distributing watches, and Swami was talking about the necessity to have God in our hearts. And then suddenly he said, "Hey, bring those watches." So those watches were brought, and this watch had a white covering. Any watch it comes in a box which generally has another covering of white. And so Swami opened this white and he said, "Hey, see this white covering? Just like you all, this cover is also very white." So all of us were wearing white cover. Inside it was a blue box. And then Swami opened the box and Swami said, "Chudu," and that is see. And inside there was a beautiful watch with Swami embossed, in the dial of the watch. And Swami said, "See, this white covering is like your white clothes. This box is like the body. And this watch was in a plastic covering which was transparent." So Swami removed the watch from the transparent cover and he said, "This cover is like your mind. Make it transparent, then you will be able to see the watch which has in its heart Swami." Okay, so in the dial of the watch was Swami, which is like our heart, and Swami said, you watch your words, your thoughts, your actions, your character and heart, then your mind will become transparent so that everybody will be able to see. So then Swami said, "Now you tell me what is more important. Should I give you the box or should I give you the watch?" He said, "Swami, obviously we want the watch." Though actually everything is Swami's offering only, Swami's gift only. But everybody wants the watch. Swami said, like that only. Body is not important. Mind is not important. That heart which has Swami in it, only that is valuable. So this is how, with such a simple thing like a watch box, how Swami conveyed the highest of messages. This next song that we will hear conveys, it is Sharavana Bhava, and we were just talking about how this Kartikeya Mandir came in Prashanti Nilayam. Somebody very beautifully wrote, when the Kartikeya Mandir was being inaugurated in Prashanti Nilayam, somebody very beautifully wrote up that it seems Narada went to Kailasha because he is that Trilok Sanchari. He has visa and passport to all locals. So he had been to Kailasha, and it has been after a very long time he was going. He found it empty. Nobody was there. Shiva was also not there. Parvati is not there. He started shouting, calling out to someone, and since nobody, and he said, "Okay, Ganesha." So he started yelling for Ganesha. Ganesha is also not there. He suddenly sees Kartikeya standing, getting ready, to go somewhere, packing his bags and all that. So he asked him, "What's happened? Where is everybody going?" He said, "Don't you know?" He said, "What?" He said, "Shiva Parvati have relocated." He said, "Where?" "To Prashanti Nilayam. They are no more in Kailash." And he said, "Then where is Ganesha?" Ganesha is at the Ganesh gate. He is sitting over there because he is the PRO, the Public Relations Officer. And everybody enters through Ganesh gate only. So he needs to figure out accommodation and food and all of that. So So he said, where are you going? He said, a lot of crowd has increased in Parthi, so I am also going to help my brother. And so Kartikeya's mandir is right next to Ganesha's mandir. So both of them are the first PROs of Prashant Nilayam. So this is another beautiful song which praises that Kartikeya Lord.
உன்னை துதிக்க உன் திருநாமம் சரவண பவனே சகல் ஒளிபவனே திருப்புரபவனே திகழ் ஒளிபவனே பரிபூரபவனே பவமொழிபவனே அரிதிருவருக அமரபதியே முருகா முருகா
Thank you.
The next song talks about a very lovely place for all our sisters over here. I think the best place in this world for all the sisters is their mother's home. They say, right? As Maika or Mahir. And so this is the next song is a abhang, which talks about this Mahir. And when we think about Mahir, once the former Prime Minister of India, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, one of the great statesmen that India has produced, a very, very dear devotee of Bhagwan, for over 40 years, he used to come to Bhagwan, and it so happened that in 1981, was it 81 or 78, I'm not sure, but after the general elections, his party at that time, which was called Janasangh and not the Bharatiya Janata Party as it is known now, had won 2 seats in the parliament. Okay, just 2 of them. That is he and L.K. Advani, only 2 people had won. And Swami told him, you will become the Prime Minister of the country. And at that time he was wondering, Swami, my party has got 2 seats in parliament. You are talking about Prime Minister of the country. Okay, and he went on to become the Prime Minister for 2 terms of Prime Ministership. So he was telling that, having heard this, that Swami had blessed him with this grand opportunity, he told Swami, whatever I become in life, Swami, let me always come back to your lotus feet. Don't ever tell me or don't ever push me away. Let me always get this opportunity to come back wherever you are. And Swami's answer to that was, hey Atal, to come to your mother's home, do you need permission? For a mother, the child, irrespective of whoever he or she becomes, for a mother, the primary thing is that child is her son or his daughter. So you don't have to take permission to come back to your mother's house. Many, many years later, yes, as a Prime Minister also he came several times. Currently he is undergoing a lot of physical, he is completely immovable now. He just rests in his home. In 2010, when Swami had been to Delhi, he was not in a position to come and have Swami's darshan. Swami himself went to Atal Bihari Vajpayee's house. And it is a very beautiful, one of the seva that so very few people were allowed. As he came out with, he even couldn't recollect Swami properly. He is suffering from a senility of age and also immobility. Both his knees are replaced. And so he came out with Bhagwan and Swami was seeing him off. And Swami said, Dekho, Atal, jab tum Prime Minister tha, when you were the Prime Minister, so many people were around you. Bureaucrats, politicians, world leaders, army, everybody was around you. Okay, now you are not a Prime Minister, now nobody is there around you. And then Swami said, but still I have come to see you. Even when the world walks out on us, there will be one force which will always be with us. That is one mother who cannot leave us. And this is that dedication to that mother, Mazi Mahira Pandari, in which Namadev, the great Maharashtrian saint, says that Pandari is like my Mahir. For us, Puttaparthi is like our Mahir, isn't it? It is like our mother's home where we can go anytime when we can go back to our mother. And he says that Chandrabhaga, the river which flows, is like my sister. And Pundalika, after whom he is called Panduranga, he is my brother. Pundalika, the great sage, is like my brother. And Vitthal and Rakumai are like my mother and father. So to that Panduranga and to our Sai Panduranga we offer this song.
Hare
I recall this incident which was narrated to us by one of our elders. This was at the time of the construction of the super specialty hospital in Prashantinayam. And as you are aware, all services the hospital are absolutely free of cost. So this was even as they were setting up for the hospital to be inaugurated, one of the elders suggested to Swami that Swami, even as we are giving this patient care absolutely free of cost, maybe we should, when they are being discharged, present them with a bill that says that these are the costs that was incurred for your treatment, and at the bottom we can say these costs have been waived off. So that Swami, they are aware that this is what Swami has spent on their treatment. See, if Swami heard this suggestion, and then Swami said, when you go home, when your mother makes breakfast, lunch or dinner, at the end of the meal, does your mother ever present you a bill and say, this is what, the labor costs, the vegetable costs, etc. But waived off, because you're my son, I have to feed you, waived off. Does it even strike the mother to do something like that? How can you even suggest something as outrageous as this? We are here to do service, and that is all that shall be provided. And that is the one department that you can roam around the entire campus and never find, the billing department. And again, talking about billing, who would have thought that Swami, who waves away bills for education, water and medicine, would put a bill on himself? Interesting, isn't it? Once Swami asked this question, what will you pay for me? Who will buy me? Now, I will indulge in a couple more minutes to set the story in perspective. This was on one of the Kodak trips that Swami had taken students, and this brother who was seated at Swami's feet when this happened narrated this to us. The cine actress Anjali Devi had happened to be visiting Kodaikanal, and Swami had invited her as a guest. And Swami was talking about her. Now, it's another side story altogether that Anjali Devi became Anjali Devi because of Swami. But for want of time, we won't get there. But Swami was talking about how she's such a great actress and she has so much of property and so much of wealth. She had gifted the land adjacent to her house, and that is where the Sundaram, Swami's residence in Chennai, Sundaram, was built on the land that she had offered Swami. So Swami was talking about how she had given so much, and it seems Swami even remarked, if she wants, she can even buy Swami. And immediately it seems she said, no Swami, how can we buy you? Swami, don't say something like that, Swami. You are priceless, Swami. I cannot buy you. Swami said, no, who said? Of course, if you want, you can buy me. Who wants to buy me? There was silence. And this brother whom I mentioned was at Swami's feet. It seems Swami is asking, going on prodding, saying, who wants to buy me? Tell me. And Swami with his foot is nudging this brother, prompting him to say, tell that you will buy me. And he was too scared to even react, and I believe he put his hand down.
Almost like blasphemy, isn't it?
And Swami is kicking him. He says Swami was literally kicking him with his foot, saying, who wants to buy me? And Swami is nudging him here. And then he took courage that, okay, Swami wants me to raise my hand. And it seems he raised his hand. Swami said, see, this boy wants to buy me. He's saying he's ready to buy me. And immediately the next person raised his hand. And then slowly everybody raised their hand because they took courage from the fact that, okay, it's an acceptable answer to Swami. Yeah, he's the first. The bidding process had started. So then Swami said, you want to buy me. But you know what is Swami's cost? And then, like I said, it's one of those questions where you don't answer. The best answer is to not give an answer. And Swami said, all you need to offer to me to buy me is this much of pure love. That's all I want. So when he said mother's home, I went on a series of thoughts. I thought about how Swami spoke about how we cannot bill for Swami services because it's like coming back to your mother's home. And then I thought about this moment where Swami put a bill on himself and said, Swami said, all you need to do to get Swami, to own Swami, is this much of pure love.
So are we all ready to give that price to Swami? Yes, right? Swami wants us to do that. That's all that we need to do, to say that, yeah, I have a special offer on Swami. All of us, this is the bonanza of Kali Yuga, right? That God is available to us. We keep going and we keep looking for the Black Fridays, and we keep searching for the 50% offs. Here is the greatest bonanza available for mankind. God Himself is available. And once you get God, the world automatically goes behind you, isn't it? Such is the sweetness of the Lord. This is the next song that we will do is something which is very, very dear to all students, because this was almost like an anthem that Swami would, almost every science student knows this particular song. I would request all those of you who know this song to join. Yeah, please sing along. It's a very beautiful song. And even the meaning of it is even more beautiful. We often recollect when the lines Ninne dhyaninchaleni deha melano, Ninne poojinchaleni karmu lenano. Swami, in this line it is said that if not but for meditating on your form, what else is this body for? If not to serve you with these hands, what for are these hands for? These hands are useless if they cannot serve you. This body is useless if it cannot meditate on you. And often when we used to sing this, Swami himself would show, and the next line is Kanu Binduga Ninu Chudani Kannu Lenano. Means if these eyes cannot see you, then these eyes they are not eyes at all. And Swami would point, like that he would do. So let us all close our eyes and see him in our heart's eyes, in our heart, who is seated over there, and sing this Madhura Mohana Ghanashama Sundara Swami.
Talli Tandri Guru Daivamu Bandhu Nive Sakuravu Nive Ni Pada Jamulano Nityam Gulutumu Ni Pada Jamulanu Nityam Gulutumu Sai Rama
Swami was speaking to a few boys and he made, we were talking all about Premasmaranam, the final song. These are the thoughts that come to my mind. Swami was saying that, have you ever been to a wedding? Yes, Swami. He says, do you know what happens during the meal sessions? So he said, Swami, first round, all the guests who have come, they sit for meals. Then Swami said, okay, then who sits? Then he said, then Swami, all the family members will sit. Okay, then he said, Swami, then the bridegroom, bride and all the near and dear ones, the immediate family, they sit. So after that, if some food is left, what do you do? He said, Swami, then all the cooks and all the helpers, they sit. Okay, after that, if food is left, what do you do? He said, Swami, we will call Narayan Seva, we will call for, everybody on the, kind of all the urchins on the road, everybody is asked to come and sit. Okay, after that, if some food is there, what do you do? He said, Swami, we just throw it off, in the dustbin. And then he says, do you know who comes and eats that? Swami, are dogs and crows and other things. Other animals come and eat it, cows. And Swami said, do you know, my devotees give me love like that. After giving to everybody else in the world, whatever little is left, that they give to God. My devotees give me love like that. When we say like this, only tears come into our eyes that what Swami wants is a little upgradation. Little bit from absolute poor economy to little premier economy. Maybe from economy to business class sometimes in our life. He thirsts for our love. That is the only thing that he wants. And how Swami would play around, with all the students, how that is the bond that he builds with us. I know I probably made it a little too serious at the end, so I'll tell you one very beautiful story that happened. How Swami plays with students. Swami would come very often to hostel, and during the initial years of the hostel, he would come to the hostel to inaugurate what we call a self-reliance department. So our hostel is a pure democracy. Okay, it is by the students, for the students, of the students. Okay, that is all the departments, everything in the hostel is done by the students themselves. So whether it is plumbing or furniture work or electrical work or cooking food for the sick boys or stores, grocery, everything is available in the hostel and it is manned by the students only. So Swami would come for each of these departments and he would inaugurate. So it was on one such occasion Swami had come to inaugurate the stores in the, we had our own departmental store in the hostel to inaugurate that. So it was a long drawn evening with, just like the songs and speeches and then dinner. And after that Swami, was to quickly inaugurate and leave to the mandir. So the scene was that the department, the elder, the teacher of the department said, see, we don't know how much time we will have with Swami. So quickly, the moment Swami inaugurates it, everybody takes namaskar, we will seek Swami's permission. And the moment Swami gives, everybody takes namaskar, no wasting time, 2 to 2 seconds per person, because towards the end, it will be Swami also will be in a hurry to leave. So no boy should be left. That was the idea. Quick Pad Namaskars. The whole evening went, Swami came, to inaugurate. And Swami was in his usual, let us go, where do I have to go, here, there, all that. After everything was over, Pad Namaskar started. So in those days, till the very end, Swami's robe, if you see, it extends way below his foot. Almost a foot more than, if you see even probably in this photograph, you will notice that Swami's robe is way big, So you have to literally raise the robe and then take namaskar. Else you will be only taking robe namaskar, not Pad Namaskar. So boys were, one by one raising it, and it so happened that one of the brothers, he raised it, the first went, second went, third, fourth boy, he took namaskar and he was not getting up. He kind of, his head was missing under the rope. So it was like, everybody else, especially the boys right behind, get up, man, get up fast. What if Swami immediately now he says, let's go, and the rest of the boys will be missing. And clear instructions were that the students should not take more than 2 seconds. Okay. And but this boy, he around 30-40 seconds he is taking, and everybody was livid. Okay, and they said, let Swami go, then we'll show this girl. Okay, extra devotion, means we call it little, extra devotion. we call it actually Jantu, that is jumping enthusiasm. It's called Jantu in our hostel lingo. So, this is called jumping enthusiasm. So, eventually, the boy got up, tears in his eyes, whole face is red, and fine, boss, I mean, you got full devotion, fervor, and all that. What about us? But Swami gave everybody namaskar, and Swami left. After Swami left, all the boys took this guy down. Okay, saying, what the hell was going on here? What if Swami wouldn't have? He said, 1 minute, let me say nothing. What do you have? No explanation, all that. He said, 1 second, let me tell you what happened. He says, okay, tell what happened. So he says, don't blame me for it. Who's supposed to be blamed? He said, see, when I took namaskar, I was taking namaskar, my nose went in between Swami's 2 toes, and Swami caught my nose with his 2 toes. Okay, and he's trying to pull, thinking that I got only 2 seconds. But Swami had caught his nose so tight with his fingers, with his toes, that he was not able to. He said, that is. Then boys figured that eventually when he got up, his face was red and all, not because of emotional the sheer effort of pulling out, and tears in his eyes and all that. Okay, and that is the love of our Sai. Okay, that is how he'll play with us, right? And this next song talks exactly about that love. Okay, which is that love which has held us out of the whirlpool that we have got into. Which is that love which has only taught me, to love everybody. The only way to love Swami says, is love all and serve all. Unfortunately, we just say love all, serve all. The operative words in love all, serve all is not love and serve. The operative words are all. Oftentimes we can't do that. Swami, I can't love all. I'll just love these many people. My family, my community, my country, Washington DC, probably Maryland this side and Virginia this side. Right? But Swami wants us to love all. Absolutely no holds barred. Right? So that operative word in love all, serve all, please remember, and we all should remember, is all. Okay, including the people whom we hate, Swami expects us to love them also. So this is because he has loved like that. Right? So that is what we have to learn from him. This final song, Kavali, will be a tribute to that love, and let us all offer and let us think about that love, because the theme of this is Premasmaranam. So let us think about Swami's love.
नहीं होती माया नहीं हो चाहिए बरकत दी। कौन है जिसने मुफ्त मुझसे छिना कर मुझे आबाद किया? कौन है जिसने खुद को पामाल किया और मुझे बरकत दी? हाँ जी, वो कौन है, वो कौन है, वो कौन है, वो कौन है, कौन है, वो कौन है, वो कौन है, वो कौन है? जान है वो प्यार है, वो प्यार बड़ा सा साईं के प्यार की सूरत बयान ही होती साईं के प्यार की।
of you, till now I think it was a monologue. Let's all have a dialogue with Swami now. So, request you to join us all and sing full-throated and clap with all your might.
साई प्रेम दे, शांति दे, आनंद दे, बाबा प्रेम दे। साई प्रेम दे, शांति दे, आनंद दे, बाबा प्रेम दे। साई प्रेम दे, शांति दे, आनंद दे, बाबा प्रेम दे। साई प्रेम दे, शांति दे, आनंद दे, बाबा प्रेम दे। तुम हो बाबा दया के सागर, तुम हो बाबा दया के सागर, तुम हो गुणवंती रजवान, तुम हो गुणवंती रजवान। आदि अनंत है सत सनातन, आदि अनंत
Om Shri Sai Ram. I feel so bad breaking the wonderful vibrations that they have created for the last couple hours. At the beginning, I said, Swami had remarked that our only purpose is to spread Ananda. Every now and then we get occasions where we get to do that. But my God, what an occasion this was. This is one of those Niagara Falls of Ananda. Swami, thank you so much for sending your messengers, your boys, all the way from Prashanthi Nilayam here to Washington, D.C., to the Maryland, Virginia, D.C. area. Considering the number of programs that they've given over the last 3 weeks, it's a miracle that they look so fresh. It's the energy that they have within them. So thank you, Swami. Thank you, my dear brothers, for enthralling us, for entertaining us, for connecting us to Swami.
And hopefully for enlightening us.
Definitely. Thank you so much. A couple of housekeeping announcements. So we will do Brahmarpanam and then we have dinner outside. There's plenty of food. Please stay back and fill the stomach also. Okay. I request the women and children and elderly to use the facility right outside the door here, and some of the rest of us can go use the hall that's on the other side of the footwear stands. Okay. The boys have graciously agreed to take photographs with anyone who's interested, but we are a large group, so we should try and see if we can make groups of 20, 25, and quickly go on the stage. They are also hungry, so let's not keep them waiting for too long. Quickly get on the stage, take a picture, and walk back. Once that is done, once they have their plate of food, I'm sure they'll be willing to engage and talk, and you'll get a chance to talk with them, engage with them, ask questions, and learn a lot more. With that, let's do Brahmarpanam.
And opportunities to spread and sing His name, and also to each and every one of you to have sat here for 3 hours, more than 3 hours. And that is one thing that we keep discussing amongst ourselves. The capacity and the stamina that all the Sai devotees have here is simply amazing, incredible, out of the world. In Parthi we can barely sit for an hour, but your appetite for Bhagwan and for Swami is just incredible. 3-4 hours you are able to sit aramse. So, really hats off to that, and our gratitude to all of you for having given us this opportunity. We take back with us your love, and we share the passion and the love that you have for Swami. Thank you so much, Sai Ram.